Hey everyone, and welcome to the newest edition of Dummies on the Hardwood, except we are called Backcourt Banter with the Dummies. Isaac, Bennie, and in these videos, we're just going to react to articles and headlines that are surrounding the NBA right now, or any possible
like news, rumors. We can also react to that. So let's get this started, Bobby.
So the other day we had Bleacher Report had an article on the 5 wild NBA trade ideas that could actually work. The first one, Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson for Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith Jr., Cam Whitmore, and the top 5 protected 2031 first round pick. What do you guys think about that trade?
Absolutely not.
You say not?
Jimmy Butler's on the wrong side of 30, man. And like they have a young core. I would wait, see if he hits the free agent market, get him for a bargain because he's going to want a max. I would wait for a bigger and better. And let's be honest, Jimmy, he's disruptive, unfortunately, so he might disrupt that young core, unfortunately.
But also, too, Jimmy Butler adds that leadership. I'm looking at it from this standpoint I'm looking at it for both teams. I mean, you get a new pick and roll duo in Adebayo and VanVleet. It definitely would help the Heat, but really wouldn't do much for them going forward. But the Heat need to start their rebuild mode. Let's be real. Start rebuild mode. And you get it, right, with players like Smith Jr., Whitmore, and a top 5 protected. Houston loses the trade. Personally, in my opinion, I would offer Jalen Green. You can get more back in return for him. That's just me. High volume shooter, high risk, high reward. Inconsistent.
So Miami rebuilds with Jabari Smith Jr. and Cam Whitmore, both with 3-and-D potentials, which masks Tyler Herro's defense.
Shout out to Tyler Herro. That guy has been balling out.
The Rockets go from a play-in team to a playoff contender.
I think contender is a stretch.
Yes.
I think they go for
they are a contender.
A playoff contender. I didn't say NBA contender championship, but they're a playoff contender.
Yeah, bro.
I wouldn't do it just because Jimmy Butler's old. Like his stats aren't really jumping out. He's averaging 16 points, shooting 48% from the field, 15% from 3.
And I see that. But at this point with the Houston Rockets, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, you don't have nothing to lose.
Fuck it. Go all in.
Yeah, go
all in. And then you got one of the best perimeter defenses in Dylan Brooks and Jimmy Butler. Except with Jimmy Butler, you get some consistent scoring.
Look, all I'm saying is the only thing I would swap out is instead of giving up Cam Whitmore, I would just throw in Jalen Green. That's just my opinion.
I wouldn't do it personally. I think the Rockets should wait for a better trade or like a more cheaper value option. There's free agency coming up. They could possibly attach Dylan Brooks for another player later on, but I personally wouldn't do it.
Şengün and a young talented star, Jalen Green, along with Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson, who can provide that shooting. The Rockets are no easy out. Even right now, they're not an easy out. We'll hop into the second trade. Damian Lillard and DeLon Wright for Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jovic, and a 2031 top 3 protected first round pick. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know if it really helps Miami in terms of contention. Because let's be real, the window for Miami right now is closing. It's closing.
It's been closed. I'm just being real. It's closed.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it will help them. I think in short term, it would help them, right? It'll help them get into the playoffs. But I'm not sure if it would do much else. I mean, you're trading Tyler Herro, Jovic. Tyler Herro, he's been consistent. Jovic, he's a stretch 4. And you're giving up Duncan Rob. You're giving up Jimmy Neutron.
Shane.
I'm just saying, bro.
Shane Estevez.
Look, I'm just saying, like, I'm not sure. It'll help them in the short term, but for the long term, it really doesn't do much for them.
What do you think, guys?
Personal.
I don't think it's worth it. Damian Lillard, unfortunately, looks like a shell of his former self. I wouldn't give up Tyler Herro. Though I would trade him for something else. I would keep my picks in Jovic. I wouldn't do this trade either.
But honestly, go.
Long term, I'd keep Herro, but short term, if they had just a little bit more, maybe I would say yes, but nothing else. What are Damian Lillard's average?
I'm just saying, I think the Bucks would also thrive too, because they would have shooting in an open paint. That's just me.
What has Miami wanted the past several years? A superstar. And they wanted a superstar. And who did they have their eyes on? Damian Lillard. So Miami finally gets Damian Lillard after all those years. At this time, he's not paired with, he's not going to be contending for a playoff championship.
Maybe they dodged the bullet. Look, his stats right now are 26 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 44% from the field. Let me see his stats from
Those
3.
are still Damian Lillard stats.
And
He's shooting 35% from 3, which
that's
isn't
still not-
bad.
that's
But
still
it's just,
good.
can he stay healthy? Like, he's been injured these past few seasons, unfortunately. Like,
So-
you can't depend on him to be Portland Trailblazers Damian Lillard.
so what this does, assuming that Jimmy Butler stays with the Miami Heat, Damian Lillard along with Jimmy Butler, you already put the Heat in playoff contention. Let's just be real.
Absolutely.
The Bucks, you finally get Giannis some help. You get some scoring and you get some shooting. Because what did they give? Who did they give up? They gave up Drew Holiday. They gave up Grayson Allen. Tyler Herro, he's not no Grayson Allen defensively, but he can shoot the lights out the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And he can create his own shot. And that's
Yep.
something Giannis really needs right now on this Bucks team.
And he'll be back home too. He's
So-
from Milwaukee anyway.
So if you ask me
Yep.
how do I feel about this trade, I like the trade. I think it provides depth for Milwaukee, and I think Miami finally gets to be in that playoff talk because right now they're in the play-in talk. The third trade, Kawhi Leonard for Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland, and a 2030 first-round pick.
After missing those 2 free throws, do this trade.
Why do you say that, Isaac?
Don't you remember Ron Holland missed those 2 free throws to be? But honestly, I would not trade for Kawhi Leonard. I would stay away from him like the plague, unfortunately. He'd just waste your cap space, unfortunately. If he would be healthy, that would be nice. Even like a fraction of it with that Piston team, that would be scary. But are you really going to count on Kawhi to be healthy on a 3-year near max?
Hey, what's to lose in Detroit? You already got Tim Hardaway Jr., you already got Tobias Harris. Why not take a risk
Because
for Kawhi Leonard?
for the first time in a decade, they actually look good. They actually look good and
They
competitive.
do. The
JB
Pistons,
Bickerstaff
the
is doing
Pistons
something
look
good.
really good.
But also, how I look at it from this standpoint, I would actually do the trade. I would do it if I'm Detroit. Like it's like
That's
you
what
said,
I'm
you
saying.
ain't got nothing to lose.
What do you gotta do?
bro?
Yeah.
Like you got Kawhi Leonard. The dude's a champion. Yes, he's injury prone. He's not that. He's not going to be himself. But let's face it, Kawhi Leonard is still Kawhi Leonard. Look, you're starting off Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart, and Ron Hall. I personally would give up Ron Holland. But you know, at this point, like you can't mortgage your future.
Actually, now that I think about it more, they do need picks. So yes, I would actually do this trade.
Yeah,
if you could get off Kawhi's contract, the Clippers don't look that bad with Norman Powell, James Harden, Zubac. Shout out to Zubac. He is an absolute monster right now.
But also, too, we got to keep it real. At some point, because the Clippers don't have a future. They really don't. So you need to start thinking in terms of the future. And that's where your best asset right now is. I would move from Kawhi Leonard, personally. Because Kawhi Leonard, he's too injury prone. He's old. He's not old, but he's too injury prone. So I'd get his ass out. And I would start focusing on building around those young players, man. I mean, because let's face it, the Clippers don't have no one. They don't.
The Clippers are going to go full rebuild mode. This is why the trade works, in my opinion. Clippers go into full rebuild mode. And after mortgaging their future for SGA, who now is a MVP in the MVP talk. So I like the trade in Detroit because Detroit, what do you got to lose? Clippers, just go full rebuild. Just do
You
it.
ain't got nothing to lose.
Just go.
Do you want to know a crazy fact? SGA was originally a pick owned by Charlotte. Charlotte could have had SGA.
Really?
Charlotte Hornets could have had SGA and LaMelo Ball
That's
on
crazy
the same
fact.
team.
That's a
Just like
crazy
the Charlotte
fact.
Hornets could
That's
have
a
had
crazy
Kobe
fact.
Bryant.
That's insane. I just found that out today.
The fourth trade, Brandon Ingram for DeAndre Ayton.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need a center.
They need a big, and it opens up a spot for Donovan Clingan. This kid is actually pretty solid.
I don't know
Pretty
why.
playing fucking good.
I don't know
dude.
why
really playing
he's on
good.
the bench and
The-
DeAndre Ayton is starting.
Yeah, I just don't get what Portland is doing.
But also
You got Jeremy Grant. You got DeAndre Ayton. You trade those players and you get some picks and then you get some young talent to build around. You go full rebuild.
It's the second apron. If you get hampered by a contract, you can become Milwaukee Bucks or Denver, unfortunately. The teams don't want to do that. That's the really big thing. This apron has really hampered teams, especially the smaller markets.
I look at it from this standpoint. It does help the Pelicans because Brandon Ingram is not worth the max.
No, he's not.
No, he's
I think
not.
he's a great player, but he ain't damn near worth $200 million.
He's a good, what, like about 100 million, maybe? 100
yeah, he's
million?
more of a second option, I think, in my opinion.
Maybe third.
But also look at it from this standpoint too. The Pelicans get a center in DeAndre Ayton because right now Yves Messi is holding it down right there. But also too, it begs the question with New Orleans. You went out and you signed Daniel Tice and you're not playing him. I don't get it. What's the purpose of signing a center when you need a center? Because your center position is clearly thin. You're relying on a rookie, and granted, he's holding his own. But come on now. They're basically doing Trey Jamison III, Herro Jones, Yves Messi.
You want to know?
On, man.
You know who the top rebounder is on New Orleans? Yves Messi with 7 rebounds. 7 rebounds.
Pels are dead. Oh man, dude, they stink, man. I'm serious.
Hold on, I'm curious about like where they stand. Like,
yeah, this is a good trade for both teams actually. Pelicans get their big, and Portland goes into.
I want to see the team stats. Hold on, sorry.
And Portland would be able to give Brandon Ingram the contract that he seeks. I can see Portland doing that. I can see Portland doing that.
Yeah. What's that last trade you got?
The last trade, Trae Young for D'Lo, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, a 2039 first-round pick, 2030 first-round pick swap, and a 2031 first-round pick.
So just so I know, the Lakers are giving up a 2029 first-round pick, a 2030, and a 2031. Is that correct?
Yep.
No, I wouldn't do it. I don't see why you're going to give. Who do the Lakers have in the? Obviously, yes, they have Connect and they have Reeves, but you need to think about in the long term. AD isn't getting younger. LeBron, he's probably in his last 2-3 years. Why? I wouldn't personally trade for Trae Young. Personally, that's just my opinion.
And this is a win now trade. If I look at this trade more closely, this is a win now.
Do not.
Because what Trae Young provides for the Lakers is that secondary ball handling to take the load off LeBron James. Do I think the Lakers should pull off this trade? Absolutely fucking not. Because I think the Lakers need to keep their depth. But what I do think the Lakers need to do, instead of Trae Young, maybe you trade for somebody who's not as expensive and maybe like a Cam Johnson, or go after Jonas Valanciunas. But Trae Young, we got primary ball handlers right now. Austin Reeves is our primary. I love him.
If you could alter this trade to not include any of your first-round picks, maybe one of them, and ask for Trae Young and DeAndre Hunter, you guys give up D'Lo and Hachimura and Vincent, I think, in my opinion. Because you guys get youth, you get shooting, and you get defending.
Also, the Hawks, too, like, they're getting back Rui Hachimura, who's a capable stretch 4.
It's a salary dump, basically.
And also, too, like, they're rebuilding for the future if the trade were to go through. But personally, if I'm the Lakers, man, why you got to trade your future? Don't.
Yeah, we already...
don't.
Laker fans have
Trade
PTSD.
Bronny.
Yeah,
Laker fans
also,
have PTSD.
Yeah, also, too, yeah, they have PTSD because what happened in 2017. And don't even talk about what if they didn't trade for AD. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that.
It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen.
2017. The Lakers could have had Jason Tatum.
Isaac, let's be real for a minute. Take your unbiased opinion out of this. Do you think that Jason Tatum would be currently, if the Lakers drafted Jason Tatum in 2017, do you think he'd still be on the Lakers?
Yes.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Why?
Yeah,
Who
bro,
would you trade for him?
You're trading Anthony Davis. You want Anthony Davis. Who's better? Tatum or Ball?
Tatum.
Who are you gonna take?
Tatum.
Okay.
Tatum's paid.
So you think the Lakers are going to be that dumb in 2017?
They would have still done it. They would have still done it.
No, they wouldn't have done it. They would have traded.
They would have done it.
No,
They would have.
you know what they would have done? They would have traded Kuzma and kept Tatum instead.
Yeah, they would have sent Kuzma. They would have sent, God, who else was on that fucking roster? Julius Randle.
Josh Hart was on that team.
Julius Randle, Josh Hart, and Kyle Kuzma.
You guys are forgetting about LeBron. How's LeBron going to play?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? LeBron,
bro, what are you talking about?
His growth would be stunted. I keep saying this. It does not matter if they took Ball, if they took Tatum. Either way, one of them would have ended up with New Orleans.
He's just salty, man. He's just salty.
I'm not salty.
He's just
okay.
salty.
That is a horrible example. You know why? He's playing with Jaylen Brown. Did that stunt his growth? No.
You're talking about somebody who doesn't require the ball in their hands as much. LeBron James is the primary ball handler for the Los Angeles Lakers.
He doesn't need the ball.
The bottom line is it doesn't matter.
Tatum would have ended up in New Orleans.
No, he wouldn't.
He would've.
I'll tell
He
you,
would
he
end up in
wouldn't.
New Orleans.
You would not trade Tatum
No,
for
he wouldn't.
Anthony Davis.
No,
No,
the
you-
Lakers at that time. Yeah, they
Oh
would.
yeah, then they'll get
At that
PTSD.
time-
Then they'll get
at
PTSD
that time,
like the
yeah.
Clippers did. If that trade happened and they said Tatum, that's PTSD.
what I'm saying. You just validated my point.
That's PTSD.
You just validated my point.
That's PTSD if they made that move. If they
And
had
that's
made
what
that
I'm
move,
saying.
man, the Lakers would be that
That's
stupid.
what I'm saying. Because we look now at Brandon Ingram, we're like, "Phew, thank God. I love Brandon Ingram, but whew, give him a max contract with those numbers
guys
and that
would've
injury
done
history.
it.
Yeah,
No, they wouldn't have pulled the
Would you
trade.
give Tatum the max if he was on the Lakers?
Yeah, I
Put
would
up his stats.
I would get him
Exactly.
on the Lakers.
Exactly. Laker fans have PTSD.
Would
Lakers fans
Tatum,
would have
would Tatum have
PTSD.
stayed in LA, or would he have been part of the
No,
AD trade?
he
I-
would have
no.
been part of the AD
Let me ask the
trade.
damn question to the audience. I think he would have stayed, and they would have just traded Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, I
A lot-
think so.
Me and Benny think
I
that.
think so.
And you're the
No, I
Laker
don't.
fan. Why are we defending the Lakers? Just saying.
No, I don't.
Yeah, man. I don't
But
know why we
let us
talking about
know.
the
Like,
Lakers.
comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. Maybe Bobby's just in denial, and he's just sad that they don't have Tatum.
No,
Yeah, man.
nope. I'm
And
not,
Tatum's made it clear he wants to be in Boston his career, so he can stay in Boston. That's all good.
All right. Anything else before we end this episode, fellas?
I got nothing else. You guys got anything?
I'm solid. I'm good.
Thank you guys for listening. Please like, subscribe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Also, what would you guys like for us to talk about? Leave comments in the comment section. Before we go, do you guys have anything to say?
No, appreciate the support. Backcourt dummies, backcourt banter with the dummies.
Just something with backcourt. Good night, everyone.
night,
Yeah.
guys.
Yes, sir.